Hello, my Linians. This is Teacher Gracie, and today we're going to discuss the topic word analogy. This video tutorial is based on your learning activity sheet in English 7 Quarter 1 Week 1. So, bring out your learning activity sheet. Our learning target for this lesson is supply other words or expressions that complete an analogy. Before we start our lesson, let's have some warm-up questions. I have here 2 questions for you to answer. The first question is, in an analogy, the relationship of the first pair of words is equal to the relationship of the second. Is it true or false? Timer starts now. What do you think is the answer? That's awesome! The correct answer is true. The next question is, slices the loaf, pendants the blank. What word will complete this analogy? A earring, B necklace, C earrings, or D bracelet? What is your answer? You got it! The word that will complete the analogy is B necklace. Let us now move to our discussion about word analogy. What is an analogy? Do you have any idea? Alright, that's a good idea. Analogy is a comparison between 2 things that are usually thought to be different from each other, but have some similarity. To solve an analogy, you must think out of the box. And what does it mean? In order to understand the word analogy, think about how words on each side of the columns relate to each other. Analyzing the relationship of the words is a must to fully understand an analogy. Now that you know what is an analogy, let us now discuss how to construct an analogy. There are 4 words that we need, and these words are somewhat related. Let's take a look at the example. Find, locate, lose, and misplace. To connect these words in an analogy, we're going to use punctuation marks. The first one is a colon. A colon stands for the phrase is related to. So when we read the example, will be find is related to locate and lose is related to misplace. Next is the double colon, which stands for the phrase in the same way that. So when we read the analogy, it will be find is related to locate in the same way that lose is related to misplace. Or to simplify this, it can be read as find is to locate and lose is to misplace. Let us now discuss the kind of relationship in an analogy. Can you complete the first example? Big is to large as small is to? Nice one! Tiny is the correct answer. Why? Let's analyze the relationship of the words. Big is the same as large, while small is the same as tiny. The relationship is an example of synonyms. Let's move to another example. Dark is to light as early is to? You nailed it! Late is the correct answer. Why? Again, let's analyze the relationship of the words. Unlike synonyms, this relationship shows opposites, and these opposites are called antonyms. Let's read the next example and analyze this relationship. Green is to blank as ants is to insects. So, ants are classified as insects, while green is classified as excellent. Green is a color. So, this relationship is between an object and its classification. Next, mother is to blank as butterfly is to caterpillar. Let's analyze. Butterfly is related to caterpillar. Mother is related to? Yes, a mother is related to a baby. This relationship shows the relation of an object to another object. Round is a characteristic of a ball. What is the characteristic of a marshmallow? Yes, marshmallow is soft. So the analogy goes like this. Ball is too round as marshmallow is too soft. This is a relationship between an object and its characteristic. This relationship shows the function of the object. Pen is used to write, and what is used to cut? Good! A knife is used to cut. This is an object and function relationship. The next relationship is based on whether examples are part or member of a group or category. Pages are part of a book, while month is part of a year. And this is what we call part of a whole relationship. Doctor's duty is to cure, while the teacher is to teach. This relationship shows who is performing the action. A performer and action relationship. Hungry is to eat as thirsty is to drink. This relationship shows the solution to a problem. When you are hungry, you must eat. When you are thirsty, you must drink. This is the problem and solution relationship. We are now done with our lesson. But the question is, did you understand our lesson? Okay, let's see if you really do. Now, let's have a short recap of what we have discussed today. What is an analogy? Analogy is a comparison between two things that are different but have some similarity. What punctuation mark is used in an analogy? A colon is used in an analogy which is read as is related to, and a double colon which is read as in the same way that. What are some of the relationships used in analogy? Some of the relationships used in analogy are synonyms, antonyms, object-action relationship, part of a whole relationship, and many more. At this point, turn your learning activity sheet in enrichment part. Reminder, do not write anything on this activity sheet. Write your answers on the separate long band paper. For your first enrichment activity, you need to fill the analogy with the appropriate word. You need to analyze the words given and supply the word that you think will best complete each analogy. That is 1 point each. For your second enrichment activity, you need to supply words from the given choices. Make sure that you analyze the words thoroughly, then write only your answer in your answer sheet. Another 1 point each. For your third activity, read each analogy carefully and identify the type of relationship used in each. That is another 1 point. And for your final activity, answer the given questions briefly based on your understanding of the lesson. That will be 5 points each. I hope you learned something today. If you have questions or clarifications regarding the topic we discussed, feel free to contact your subject teacher through text, call, or post your questions in your official Facebook group or page. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.